MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning. Can you believe that it's already hump day?
I know. Halfway through the week.
And it is a rain day, so if you are getting your hair done today, what do you call those little plastic bags you put over people's heads?
Rain caps.
Or a Walmart bag will work.
Right, or a garbage bag.
Seriously, do people really wear the rain caps anymore? I just never see them.
I don't see them as much as I used to years ago when I first started doing hair, but yeah, most of the time people just have an umbrella or they just make a run for it.
As a kid up at the First United Methodist Church in Scuba, it used to be real popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it did. My grandmother had one, I remember.
And that's what's envisioned in my head.
Yeah, stayed in her purse. But, you know, some people still use them, I guess. I don't know. But like I said, I have found like a garbage bag or anything my customer didn't have, or I'll walk them out to their car with my umbrella. So if I remember it.
Yeah. But today is one of those, and doesn't hair, I don't know much about hair, but doesn't hair kind of act up on a rainy day? Doesn't it do weird things?
Yeah, well, this morning, this is why mine is in like a ponytail this morning, because I didn't have time. I would have been running late if I'd have tried to do anything.
Hair is sort of like after the wedding cake with a wife. It acts different, right?
Yeah.
It just, you know.
Yeah.
You're like, who done married?
I wake up looking like Medusa in the morning. Like my hair is everywhere. My eyes got puffy. I'm surprised Kurt didn't just go, oh, Lord.
Look, I went to town yesterday because I needed something. I'd gotten done with my work here, and I thought, well, it's time to work on Dylan's truck. I'm going to have to ask y'all for some help because I can't figure it out. But I go to town to hunt for a part. And then after I do all my running around, I get back in the car, and I got grease from one side of my head all the way. You didn't even know it. I had no clue. I would walk around Meridian with it. But I got this bolt that whoever had the truck before us stripped a bolt, and I have done everything on God's green earth to break the bolt, and I can't get it.
Really?
I've tried everything. I'm even down to a chisel trying to get it loose, and no such luck.
Yeah.
So if you've got a suggestion how to get a strip bolt out of a wheel bearing, somebody let me know.
Yeah.
Because I give. Goodness.
I know that's got to be aggravating. But talking about you with your grease down your face, I got one that can beat that.
What'd you do?
I was working one day. I had on white pants.
Uh-oh.
This is funny, and I can make fun of myself, so I'm just going to tell you. But I had white pants on, and I get home that evening, and I look, and I have a spot of color about this big, dark brown, right on the back end of my pants. And I have walked around all day. I guess I bumped into the shampoo bowl behind me that had color on it. So everybody's let me walk around all day like
Looks
that.
like you might have had an accident.
Yeah, that looked really, really good. I was so embarrassed. I thought, oh, Lord, I have gone in the grocery store. I bet people are thinking, bless her heart.
That did outdo my story. Yeah. I'd rather have the grease than...
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
So...
Boy.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people.
Did the stain come out, or you still wear the pants?
Yeah, I can bleach white, so it'll come out. But I've ruined so many clothes. Like I found this morning, I have like a bleach spot on this thing, but I wore it anyway because by the end of this day, it'll probably be worse than that.
You can't even notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I look like I got a tent on this morning.
I ain't said nothing, and I ain't about to comment on it.
Yeah, these are comfortable, but they're not so good looking on camera. I don't know. Anyway.
Witnesses, I didn't agree to that. I looked off to my left and didn't say a word.
But I hope everybody's having a good morning this morning. I really do. It's a nasty morning, though. Wet roads and
it's not going to get any better. Since you brought that up, let's go ahead and just pull up and let's talk about weather a second. Because seriously, as we look at this forecast, this is what we've got today: 80%, 80% tomorrow, 80% Friday.
Goodness.
60 over the weekend, and it's still here through Tuesday. Now, if you look at today's high, though, boy, that's the coolest in a while, 74.
Yeah.
But as you look at this, doesn't that 83 really 82 over the weekend? We're not having bad weather.
Yeah, the temperatures I can handle. I just don't, and a little rain is fine, but I wish it would kind of, the chances of rain would go down significantly.
Well, since
weekend,
you brought that up,
we have baseball, so
let's go ahead and talk about the potential for rain. And this is today. Now, this is going to start right there about Enterprise and due south of there. 2 to 4 inches of rain could happen in Clark County southward. And you get to Hattiesburg, significant amounts more there, 2 to 5 inches of rain. So if you live south of Meridian, be prepared for constant rain. Now, it's going to be raining all over the area, but that's particularly a lot. And since we're talking about weather, let's go ahead and just throw something else at you. Concerns over this, we don't know what really is going to happen here. 80% chance of this storm developing. Early models are possibly showing this thing taking that twist and maybe going up this way. We hope so. Yeah. This is definitely at this point not affecting anything over the next 5 days. Nicholas, still out there. Let's look at just how wet it is this morning on radar, because it's a damp one as we pull this up. We had a tornado warning to the south on the coast of Mississippi this morning. Don't never like those. I don't know if that was proper English or not, but I was trying to get it out. Here we are here along Biloxi, Highway 90 there. Look at this, all this rain that is coming into Gulfport and Biloxi. Right now in that area, they have a flash flood warning, so it's tons. This stuff is slowly making its way up. Here around Hattiesburg, as we pointed out, it's going to be the heavier rain in our area. But look at what old Nicholas done over here. Instead of coming on across like it was normally going to do, it gets to Lake Charles and then travels due north now through Alexandria, up this way instead of turning to the east like it was normally going to do. So the cone has definitely changed. It'll be less rain for us, which is good news, but still wet as we start to show here in Clark County, here around Chibuta. Look at this, some showers.
That is a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Goodness.
And this is light rain. This is that stuff, and I've talked about this before. You're going along, you jump in your car, and the roads have just enough wetness on it to where they're slick.
Yeah, this morning, I mean, even if you accelerate while you're going down the road, my car just kind of, you can feel it lose control.
Fishtailing, so to speak.
You can try to, it's scary, especially when you're in a bigger vehicle.
And watch this. Never, ever, because accidents happen on this, don't use your cruise control on days like this.
Yeah.
Because you can't stop in time. Passing, how many times have you been on a 4-lane road and somebody just zoomed past you when it's flooding?
Oh, I know.
That ain't good.
Yeah.
Don't
They
tailgate
could
during these days.
hydroplane at any time and lose control. So.
And normally you're driving along, and I don't care who you are, you're gonna speed a little bit.
Well, I'm bad about like running behind. I know that's hard to believe.
No.
But I really have to take a lot more precaution on mornings like this and just try to leave a little early, or that's one reason why I threw this mop up in a ponytail this morning.
But you can come up to a stop sign that you normally can stop on a dime,
right, and
you just slide right through it.
Curves, even like curves. I mean, it's just, I don't know, just be extra careful.
2 hands,
right?
And now that you brought that up, let's just go ahead and throw this out there, because, and I ask y'all's opinion on this, if everyone thinks this is a good idea. This is coming from the Mississippi Highway Patrol. During COVID, they couldn't do the test drive with whoever's getting their driver's license. They have since decided, hey, a great idea. Let's don't do that anymore.
Because why would you need to know how to drive on the road?
Of course.
I mean, why would we test you for that? Like,
and I didn't realize.
Let's throw you in there.
When you took your test, I was 14 years old, and I think it's changed since then, the age. But
I was 15, I think.
You went to the courthouse in DeKalb. That's where I went. They come once a week, and you had to be there. You didn't get your test, and you drove around town. Then you had to come back, and you had to parallel park in that. And we drove probably 5, maybe 8 miles in our little test drive, make sure I knew what I was doing. And now they said that they had just gotten to where it was a drive around the parking lot and parked the car, no parallel parking. I didn't know that. But no driving test, is that really a good idea?
That's crazy. To me, I think that's crazy. But that just is an example of how things are so backwards. I mean, even this now. But yeah, that's crazy. That's just like, let's throw you in the car and hope for the best. To me, I mean, it's better to have a driving test than it is to have all that stuff that you probably, half of it you won't remember anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions on there that you go,
Yeah.
That real life experience is the best. Now, do you need to, it goes into the story, what they reported on this, that parents should take the time to, well, not everybody's got parents that are as concerned as others. And this is of course, driver's ed is great. It helps on insurance also.
I took it in the summer one year, driver's ed, and it did help. I mean, it did cut down on some of the expense of insurance, like we said. But yeah, my driver's test, I was scared to death.
Did you pass first time?
I passed, but I was scared to death. Like I drove, this is how many years ago this has been. So, I mean, this is how laid back things were. We got in, a friend of mine took me to get my driver's test. I pulled up to the driving spot when the guy, when we got there, she let me drive because she had her license and I had my permit, so I could drive with her in the car. Anyway, when I pulled into the parking lot, I drove up on the curb by accident. And I thought, oh Lord, this.
How much they take off for that?
Well, they didn't see it. I was with my friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she let me drive to the thing. So anyway, he gets in the car. The guy, the police, the officer gets in the car, lights up a cigarette, and says, "Pull out of the parking lot and go over here."
Times have changed.
Okay. So I drive on down the road. I did not have to parallel park, which was good because I was a nervous wreck and I probably would not have done well on that. But I just drove down the highway and just turned around in the parking lot and come back. But still, I mean, that gives you a little bit of idea if somebody knows the basics of what they're doing.
And how do you react when somebody comes in your lane? All of that stuff plays into to effect of, in traffic, the light turns, going through four-way stop. I think you need to ride with folks. And there's grown folks that can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've met y'all.
My mother was saying the other day, they need to give people, she said, I mean, I agree. She said, I'm older, but I agree. They need to give people another driving test when they reach a certain age. I mean.
And there has been some validity to that of people going, should you be retested?
I remember years ago when they changed all the streets to one way in Meridian.
Oh, have mercy. Yes.
There were people going the wrong direction. Like, I felt so bad for some of these people who had no idea. And people coming from out of town, too. Still, it's weird because you'll have to go around a whole block to get back to where you got to go sometimes.
And who remembers that fateful day in Marion, Mississippi when they put up that stop sign for the first time? I remember sliding all the way through it because I didn't see it.
Yeah. They need a warning sign.
When they put in a new road like that and you're used to not stopping, it's serious.
It is.
And not too far from here, this happened about 4 years ago. And I have no other way. I ran the stop sign, but it was a four-way stop. And those sweepers that they clean the road with? It had been parked on the side of the road, so it covered the stop sign. Yeah, buddy. I went right through. Thank goodness nobody was coming. But I'm telling you, that shook me up after I got on the other side of it and realized what had just happened.
Yeah. So it's a dangerous thing out there. You never know who can and can't drive or how much practice they've had or.
I remember one time I was in a parking lot watching somebody argue with themselves, walk around. I mean, they were like yelling at themselves. And
Talking to themselves.
Yeah, and they got in the car and drove off. And I thought, whoa, that ain't a good idea.
Let me wait 2 or 3 minutes before I leave.
Yeah, honestly, you don't know what you're going to meet.
I know.
That's just some thoughts there.
I remember when they had they started with the little Bluetooth thing in the ear.
Yeah.
But I've not known, I would think somebody was talking to themselves because, I didn't know they were talking to somebody. Of course, I did get in the one business one day, and there was a guy actually talking to himself and arguing with himself.
And then you've got that special friend who got the Bluetooth who would leave the phone in the car and walk in the store, and it would quit on them. And they're going, what?
Yeah.
You've seen that. Let's talk about our friends at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. As everything gets ready for deer season, a few of these little fellows are left down there. If you're looking for some chickens, you want to have some eggs, go by and see them there, and they'll make you a great deal on this. Of course, fall season right around the corner. Stroll through and take a look at everything that they have there in the department there to help you out there. As we turn to this, as you're getting ready to plant, there's tractors rolling everywhere. Rackmaster, if you haven't used this before, it's great. Ticamati, that's a great seed also. And then they got plenty of seed to choose from there. Mobuck's rice brand, deer love this stuff. And depending upon where you are as to what flavor they like. So test them.
And peanut butter, a big flavor.
Peanut, all that is.
Stuff. Yeah.
It even smells, you hate to say it, but it almost smells good enough to eat.
Yeah.
If I was a deer, it'd be over for me because I'd get suckered in. And of course, they've got the new one here that comes with corn, roasted soybeans, peanuts. It's great. Deer love this also. That's the triple grip is what that's called. Game cameras, if you're getting set up, want to see what you got out in the woods when you're not there, either to your phone or the old traditional SD card. And if you want to get somebody hooked on some deer cocaine, they got that also. And plenty of mineral blocks to choose from there. If you need a stand, if you're looking for a blind to pop up, move around a lot, or a scale, got that also. And don't forget about those tinks, because the later you get into the season, the harder that is to find because everybody rushes to get it. Get yours today. As we look at boots, is yours getting wore out?
Yeah, well, mine, I don't like mine. Mine are not.
Good to be comfortable.
Heavy too, but I need some new boots. Need to go visit.
Ain't nothing worse than a pair of heavy boots. Those are light too. That you bring that up. See them, and of course, flashlights and a whole lot more. You'll find this pet supplies, fertilizers, anything that you're looking for, from corn to guns, including ammunition, all there at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, you know who to call. Call me. Remember, one call, that's all.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And Bailey said, don't say cocaine. People will go eat all the deer food. That was cute.
Aunt.
Oh, that's too cute.
She's so
there.
funny. Yeah. Goodness. I think she was replying up one of the things. She said, "No, not you, Candace," talking about me.
Yeah.
I think when I was talking about running late.
Yeah, never would she be there. Denise mentioned that she took her driver's test in 1978. And you went out to the one on 8th Street there, out by MCC there.
That's where I went.
Made a couple blocks there. A couple stop signs.
That's where I went.
Well, times have changed and things have just gone on. We want to pass along condolences this morning. If you're not aware of what happened yesterday morning, Highway 19, there was a wreck that claimed the life of a young man that was 21 years old. A head-on collision. The gentleman that he hit is also in the hospital in critical condition. I'm not sure who hit who. Let me back up on that. I just know that it was an accident, and the 21-year-old was married, had a child. Lawsuit. They've set up a GoFundMe page, and you can go to the Neshoba Democrat to take a look at that, and they've got links to where you can go to donate on that.
That's so sad.
Oh, it's horrible. It happened around 6:30, I think, in the morning yesterday, just north of Tucker, along in there. They rerouted traffic yesterday around all that on a dirt road, and
Goodness.
yeah, we pass along condolences on that. That's just.
So many tragedies lately.
It is.
Car accidents and
the next thing, and let me go back here and pull this up that happened in Meridian. Don't think for a minute that crime has ceased in Meridian, because it hasn't. As we pull up, we go back to my Facebook page here and take a look at this. Yesterday, along about 6 o'clock last night, shots were fired. This is that same area as we look at this. Old Marion Road here, where there's been tons of shootings. This was at a gas station here on 39, right up from there. It was around 6 o'clock. Some individuals commenced to arguing. Shots were fired. The guy was taken to the hospital for treatment. But gunfire is never a way to settle an argument.
Yeah.
And it seems more and more our city has turned into Dodge City or Chicago, however you want to word that.
yeah, it's it's gotten bad, really. It has.
So another shooting there, and I just wanted to put that on the map in relation to where you can see where it is.
I don't know what it's going to take.
I don't either.
I really don't know what it's going to take to.
And we still have not solved the crime of the 5-year-old that was in his house and got shot. Who done that? One of the worst tragedies Meridian has seen.
Say something,
Well,
somebody knows something.
Somebody knows, but
they do.
But also at the same time, are they scared to talk?
Yeah.
Because if they talk, is there a drive-by at their home?
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder who. It's almost like there's, well, I guess it is to a degree. There's people that control Meridian, the bad side of Meridian, and retaliation happens to you if you speak up. And I think it's got a lot of scared people here. That's just my thoughts on that. So as we watch this crime spree continue, hopefully there'll be an arrest not long from that. More reports. And if you want to learn about Buddy, I got a new report on him that was put out a couple of days ago. If you want to learn about him, visit our webpage there, Facebook page, Scotty Ray's
looking
Weather.
so much better.
He
I mean,
is.
he really is. I'm just glad he can see, because I was real concerned he wouldn't be able to see.
Donna White said she took driver's education at Meridian High School in 1964. Do y'all remember the machines you used to have in driver's ed? You know, it's like a video game and you
Yeah.
do your driving.
We had that, and I think we had that in like the simulator.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had it in driver's ed in the summertime when I took it. I took it at Northeast High School.
Yeah, that's where I had mine. Tommy Dale Gunn. He was in large and in charge back in the day. And he still may be doing that.
I want to say Coach Boatner helped teach driver's ed over there. I know he did. Like if you weren't listening, or if he thought you weren't listening, paying attention, he'd take a book and come right in front of you and boom, drop it on the table, scare you half to death.
And let me just say this. It takes a lot of nerve to be a driver's ed teacher. Would you really want to be right in the car? No way. I remember teaching a few people to drive, and I was a nervous wreck.
But you know, they have that brake pedal over in the passenger side
Right.
too. That'll scare you half to death if you're not braking when they think you should, and they slam on the brakes. And yeah, because I like to
Always-
ran over somebody in the crosswalk. So
Always good if you're teaching someone to drive to go to a huge parking lot. Drive around that. There's no other cars. That's that first steps there. If you're doing that, that's the best place to do that.
Yeah.
In Quitman today, they've got a blood drive going on that's going to happen today there. Let's see where it's at. It's going to be in the parking lot of the Quitman Fire Department. So if you would like to donate some blood, they've got a blood drive going on in the city of Quitman. Thanks to Clark County Hot Topics for posting that for folks to go help.
yeah, from 12 to 4 p.m. today. That's when that'll be.
Do you get lightheaded after they do that to you?
I have not donated blood in a long time, but the last time I did, I think I did get a little bit lightheaded. I didn't realize that blood bothered me. The sight of blood bothered me so bad until I had to have a surgery when I was probably 17 or 18. And they took the drip out of my hand and put a Band-Aid on it. They
Yeah.
didn't put the pressure on it enough, I guess.
Skeet.
I stood up from the side of the bed and looked down at my hand, and it was just covered in blood. And my mother, I can remember, all I remember is just looking at the blood, and that's the last thing I remember. Like I just fell back on the bed, just like fainted for just a second. So
I remember bumping my head on something one time. I was probably about 17, and I reached back, and I had all that blood, and I got lightheaded when I saw it.
I don't know why that is. I know that's your mind.
You can
just
look at
playing
other
games.
people, and it doesn't bother you, but if it's yours, it kind of freaks you out to a degree.
Yeah, when I went to the doctor the other day, I can't watch them like draw blood from me. I have to look away. And then I had to give somebody a shot one time. One of my friends, like, she gets these hormone shots.
Yeah.
She asked me to do it, and I'm like, oh Lord.
What's that do for you? Like make you nicer? Is it that
I
nice pill that women
know.
get?
I don't know. I just know that like women who have had a hysterectomy, sometimes they have to have hormone shots. So anyway, I had to do that. I was a nervous wreck, and it really scared me when I went like that with the needle and it bounced off, and I was like, oh my gosh, now I got to do this again.
And I feel for people that, have to, what is it that you have to take that they have to give themselves own shots for?
Insulin.
Things of that nature. There's a lot of people that get, they stick themselves in the stomach and
My daughter she's expecting again, and she has to give these shots in her stomach every day at the same time, one shot a day. It's something about my blood clotting disorder type thing.
I have never given myself a shot, and I'm not quite sure. I guess you can do what you got to do, but the thought of it makes me queasy.
Yeah, I don't like needles. Had my first
Or
2
spiders
kids with
and
no
snakes.
epidural because of that.
Do what?
Yeah, I had my first 2 children with no epidural because I didn't like the needles.
You do realize that was worse than getting the shot.
Well, by the third time, like my third child, I was like, I'm putting my makeup on. I'm gonna be looking good having this baby. I'm gonna be like just relaxed
You
and
got a
everything.
shot?
So I did get an epidural. Guess what?
What?
It didn't work.
Oh, it didn't take?
No, I had one leg that didn't even go numb or anything, so it did not work right. So that was a bummer,
Woof.
to say the least.
I'm all about give me a shot. I can look away if it messes me up. And speaking of pregnancy, maybe this, I don't know, this is maybe, I doubt it's a record, but it's pretty high up there. 62-year-old giving birth in Illinois.
Yes.
62 years old, she gave birth to a child. Now, as you step back and you read more into the story, it was, I guess you'd call it artificially inseminated.
I guess
she
so,
took her
yeah.
husband, this old boy, and he donated his little part, and she got her daughter to donate an egg. Okay. Now, the next question is that daddy? And no, that's a stepdaddy.
But still, that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being the daughter and go, yeah, me and my stepdaddy have a child, and my mama carried it.
Yeah, that's what happened, and they put it in
It's
mama.
62.
It's 62.
Yeah.
So when she reaches, she'll be 80 when the child is 18.
Well, yeah, you kind of wonder why, unless maybe.
Oh, they got other kids. I read the story. I don't know, but they decided, this wonderful child
I
was
wonder
born.
if it was because the daughter maybe could not carry a child, but still, why would you get your stepdad to be the?
No, I think she has children too. They were pregnant at the same time.
That's odd to me. I mean, I was 40 when I had my last child, and I worry all the time, like, am I going to live long enough to see him grow up? Because I mean,
Right.
it's just something you think about. When you're older in life and you have a child, I just hope I'm.
But maybe there's a lady older than 62 that's even had it the all natural way there. But
Yeah.
wow, that can you imagine at 62 being the mother of a child and chasing after him at 2 years old?
But I guess she too, if she and her, I don't know how long she'd been married to her husband.
Did they already
Maybe
have
maybe
another
wanted-
child?
Oh, they do. They together have another
Yeah.
child. Oh, okay.
So
I thought you were just saying she had other children, and maybe
They both
wanted
do,
one. Okay.
and then they had one together, and then now they. I mean, it's just that was different. More power to them though, as you look at what they were doing.
Yeah.
Well, thought y'all might want to know that.
Yeah.
In case you're 62 going, hey, I'd like to have a child. It can be done. Let's see here. A couple of things that are coming up that I wanted to mention here. At Weidman's, they're going to be having, this is tomorrow night, and this is to raise money for the Christian athletes. They're going to be having a dinner here for Ty and Hillary Ford there. It begins at 6:30. And it will be there to raise money there for Fellowship of Christian Athletes there. And that's going to be down at Weidman's tomorrow night if you're interested in going and helping out. They do Kemper County, Lauderdale, have 7 high schools that they take care of. So that. Also wanted to mention that coming up in Newton County, this is going to be in October, they're going to have their Soil and Water Conservation District Wildlife Seminar. That's on the 26th there at the American Legion Hut.
Okay.
So if you're interested, they got a meal coming up with that, all that. That's later in October. Roughly a month off, but you got time to plan ahead and get on out to that. Let's see here. I was one of the greatest. Do you remember as a kid hearing the Wabash Cannonball? Mm-hmm. Well,
I do.
Roy Acuff was born up on this date back in 1903. I thought that was an interesting story.
Yes.
Him and Minnie, I think, were good friends, weren't they?
Okay. Minnie Pearl
Minnie Pearl.
had the little tag hanging on her hat.
She was good at what she did.
She was.
And
she said, howdy. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cannon was her last name. A very well-educated lady outside of that if you talk to her as Minnie, she was one way, and then in normal language, it was almost like, who are you?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was had her bunch of schooling.
So she
One
was
of
a good
my
actress.
heroes that I really liked has a birthday today. You remember Tommy Lee Jones?
Yes. I heard he's close to 80, I think.
1946 is when he was born.
Oh, well, let's see.
That put him in his 70s, wouldn't it?
He'd be 75.
75. Tommy Lee.
75.
But a great actor. Boy, all those fugitive movies,
Yeah.
liked him.
He is a good actor now.
U.S. Marshals,
He can
that
play
whole
just about
series.
any part. He was Loretta Lynn's husband in the
Dude.
Dude.
Also, Under Siege. Y'all remember that with Steven Seagal? He was in that where
Yeah.
they took over the boat. So he's been around. 1949, it premiered. Who remembers The Lone Ranger coming on television?
I watched that not long ago, but I never understood how people think that just that mask, you couldn't tell who he was.
Yeah, he talked to him wearing his normal clothes and then put the little bitty skinny mask on. They didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Hello. But interesting there. This was a famous day, and I think everybody's probably glanced at this picture once in their life. They were filming a movie called The 7-Year Ache, and up come this vent, and it done this. Whoop! The skirt scene. Marilyn Monroe. 1954 is when that went down. or went up.
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to word that. But history was made on that date. 1956, who remembers this? Don't Be Cruel was the #1 song that you woke up to on that day. I think that was from Ed Sullivan.
I watched a video yesterday of his daughter, Lisa Marie, singing. She really has a good voice. But now the song she was singing was not, I don't understand. If you got such a good voice and you're a beautiful girl and, you know.
Pick better music.
Pick better song. It was like, I Hate Your Guts was one of the lines. And
why would you do that?
Go to you know where, you know. I mean, it was just like, really? But she is beautiful. I mean, she looks so much like her dad in the face.
And then, you know,
just like Elvis.
Her son died not long ago. That next generation gone for no reason.
Yes.
That's just awful there.
It is awful.
I never watched boxing in my life, but I know the guy. It was 1978 that Muhammad Ali won the heavyweight champion of the world for the 3rd time. Pretty big day there.
Butterfly and sting like a bee.
You know,
Don't you remember him saying
I
that
remember
all the
that.
time?
He was big on
All
that.
the time. 8 tracks.
Who remembers this? 1965, the way you listen to music changed because Ford installed this in their cars for the first time. The 8-track player.
Yes. We had a record player that played 8-track tapes too in the front of it and had the record player on the top. And I can remember us having those things lined up, those 8 tracks, you know.
My first 8-track was Habits Old and New by Hank Jr. I don't know if anybody else had that on 8-track, but I did.
I don't know what we had. I can't remember the songs. I'm sure it was a bunch of Merle Haggard and, you know, all kind of Waylon Jennings and stuff. My dad listened to all that.
And of course, it had the big hit there. If you don't like Hank Williams, you can and you can guess the next line.
Yeah.
1971, it came on television tonight for the very first time. Columbo premiered. He always looked like he needed a bath. He probably still
And
needs
a
one today.
hairbrush. Yeah. He kind of looked like he had a hangover every time he was on one of these
And
shows.
I guess it was the plot of him acting like he really didn't know what he was doing, but he knew who killed everybody from the moment that he walked into the room.
Yeah, he was super, like, smart with all that.
He'd go, could you explain to me just one more time there what happened? Then he'd get him.
Yeah.
1977, these guys became a hit overnight because women went nuts over them. Maybe it was Poncherelli they were after. I'm not real sure which one was the hot dude for women, but they liked, I know, Eric Estrada.
Yeah. We watched Chips all the time.
John and Ponch. Wasn't that the names?
I think so. Yeah. Punch, I know was his name. I guess John was. Have you seen a recent picture of them lately or anything? I'd like to pull that up and just see how they've aged, you know.
Yeah, that would be. I did see the remake of Chips that went to the theaters. The most disgusting movie I think I've ever watched.
Oh, you did see the remake?
Yeah.
I don't know why they have to mess the remake things up. I don't like a remake usually anyway, but when they really just like put all this, you know, craziness in it.
Well, and this one was, they put Poncherelli as having a sexual problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's all I'm going to say. And you watch that and you go, why did y'all do that?
See, if I were these actors that were in the original series, I would be so upset over that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Yeah, because that just ruins it. I mean, it just ruins the whole history of it, really.
It's like when Ben Jones, who played Cooter on the Dukes of Hazzard, talked about that movie right before it came out in 2006. He goes, the Dukes don't smoke dope.
Right.
We don't cuss. We never had nudity. We were a family show. And then they take that image and they
ruin it.
Yeah.
Yep.
You hate that things like that happen. But that was not, if you're sitting around and that comes across as a rerun, don't watch it. I mean, seriously, do not waste your time. It was not worth it.
Just pull up the old clips the old ones and watch them.
And, it may be reruns of that one, but I hadn't caught that one. But I always enjoyed it as a kid. There's always something going on in the interstate of Los Angeles, California.
Are you talking about which one are you?
Chips.
Okay, Chips. I thought we were talking about Dukes of Hazzard again because I was going to say, I mean, can you even watch that anymore?
I think it got banned, didn't it?
That's so ridiculous. I mean, just because of a car.
Yeah.
Really, basically.
Shame. And of course,
So
I guess
stupid.
Jefferson Davis Hogg would be controversial at this point, even his name.
Yeah.
We worry about these things. It is something to be concerned about. So keep that in your thoughts. Already Wednesday, we've got that light rain. We encourage you to be careful no matter where you go today. If you've got to go somewhere, keep that umbrella or that trash bag handy so you can dart to the door there to be safe there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our friends over at Godwin Cleaning Services, because this is something that happens. You have to do this. Central office in Alabama or Mississippi here, they take care of Meridian. As we've said, they've gone and taken care of Harry Mayers. If you've got one of these awnings that needs cleaning, talk to them. Very affordable, and they can knock this out in no time at all. Have it back to looking just like it did when you had it put up. As you go through this, homes that have the brick, or maybe you've got the vinyl siding on your home. Either way, they can get that clean, make it look new again. And that's those drains that drip out, your air conditioner vent.
Yeah.
It'll cause that over a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of that look. Make it look new. This is a shop, a metal building that's been cleaned. Looks great.
Brand new.
Yeah, roofs, as we've talked about this a couple times, where you don't realize how just the sun and the rain and things can change the color of your roof from what it was when you built your home.
Yeah, I always thought you just had to get a new roof if it looked
I
really
did too.
bad. Yeah, I didn't know you could make it look brand new.
Yeah, no matter what even slate roofs, they clean those as well. Shingle roofs, talk to them. Let them show you how they can make your house look brand spanking new again.
Yes.
Yeah, do that. From brick to stone, they do all of this. Godwin Cleaning Services. Call them today. Find out how affordable it is to make your home look new again, because it's just like a whoop, there it is. And they do it. They're professionals. See them today at Godwin Cleaning Services.
I was heading over to Meridian and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And the conversation between us, and I think a lot of people, if you lay your phone somewhere, do you feel lost without it now?
I do. I just realized that I forgot my phone in the car. And so normally I have it right in front of me on silent. And I was going to check, make sure I had it on silent. But, I was going to look something up on it that we had yesterday, because I think the schools are taking up donations to help out a few schools down in Louisiana.
That's
and
good.
That's what I was going to bring up, that there's items that they've asked for people to donate. And it's basically they've sent this stuff home to the children's parents, to help with. But I am sure that they would probably welcome other people to donate stuff that they could get together and send. So tomorrow I'm gonna have that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to check and just make sure that they don't mind other people, because I just think that'd be great, because these people have lost everything down there. It's around Houma, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 3 schools specifically that have lost everything. I mean, they don't have anything. So
bless those kids' hearts.
Water's one of the main things, though, bottled water, that they're trying to get donations for, to bring. So
we'll get that list tomorrow
We will.
and do that. As we're talking about driving, here's something else that you don't, this happened in Canada. And if it can happen in Canada, it can happen right here. How many times have you dropped something, swung open the door of your car, reached down to get it, and you leave it in drive or whatever? This guy was at a Macdonald's. He pays for his cheeseburger, whatever it was, and he drops his debit card. He cracks open the door to get it, and apparently he takes his seatbelt off to reach down to get it. He falls out of the car. The car rolls to the left, and it squishes him in between the building and the car, killing him instantly. Now, who would think that something like that could even happen?
Yeah, because you'd think I mean, that's just weird. I just wondered, did the door get him? You know what I'm saying? Like, was he caught in between the door?
It could be, and it
because I
crushed
kept
him.
wondering, like, how, but yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, so in a case like that, if you ever drop something like that, put it in park, get out and go get it. Usually the car behind you, but it is simpler. I get his thinking of what he was doing there, but sometimes the worst case scenarios happen out of the blue. So that's a little story
put it in
there.
park for sure, especially like even at the bank when you can't reach that little canister thing.
Yeah.
that you gotta make a deposit or something at the drive-thru. Yeah,
and if you drop that,
yeah.
pull away. Another freak accident, now that we're on these strange things that happened to you and your life has taken. This was it was in San Francisco, the trains, the little trains, those subway type things. She had her dog, and the dog gets on the train, the door closes, and she has it wrapped. You know how you wrap around the leash on your hand? Well, guess what happened? She was drugged to her death. And again, I sit back and go, no, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But it can.
That's awful.
Is the moral to the story, think the worst, and plan? I don't know.
So
But,
did they just like shut the door?
well, they're automatic.
Okay,
those
the
things,
automatic door.
They,
Okay.
they give you X amount of time, they slam, and then that train is gone. It's not anybody watching out the window.
awful.
Just subway. And I've never been on a subway in my life. I've never been to a town that had those. So
That's awful because those things really go fast.
a trolley, I think, is the fastest I've ever been on there. We'd like to thank Beverly Skelton watching from Chunky. A lot of folks watching from different
Beverly.
towns today.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, Pat Banks, how are you doing today?
She said she lived in Houma and would like to know what school was involved. There's 3 schools they named, and I cannot recall them. I'm going to have to get my phone.
Yeah, so we'll get that tomorrow and pass that along. A lot of help there. Louisiana ain't over they still had 100,000 people without power when this last storm hit before it comes ashore as it makes its way across there. Texas, tons of people without power right now. We've all been there, so we relate to what they go through. So keep that. And
awful.
Angela said, expect the unexpected. Denise said that Tommy Lee is one of her favorite actors there. Where I don't see Bill this morning, but I did get to watch a little bit of Bill singing last night. Dim lights,
Yeah,
thick
he's
smoke.
right there.
Hey, Bill, you done a
He
great
says
job
he'll
with that
help.
song, by the way. Dim lights, thick smoke. I love that song. Need to do a little Dwight Yoakam. I see that he likes a little Dwight there. Two Door. Who remembers that song? The saddest song I think I've ever heard. 2 doors down. There's a bar stool that knows me by name. 2 doors down. Woo! I love that song.
You know all of the words to songs.
And this is what worries me about country music now. There's no painting of a story. This is a guy that his wife or girlfriend has left him, and every night he goes down and he drinks. I love drinking. I don't drink, but I love drinking songs. And he sits on that bar stool, and 2 doors down, there's laughter. There's 2 doors down, and 2 doors down, they're going to find him dead one day. His life is just over since she left him, and he just sits there, 2 doors down.
Country music it's like telling a story, or it used to be like telling a story. Now it's just like repetitive.
Yeah.
And
who could, this goes to that thing of like Garth Brooks singing the song Friends in Low Places and Mark Chestnut singing it. It's all about delivery of, can you make someone believe what you're doing for that 3 minutes that song is? Can you make them live it?
Yeah.
You go back to Gary Stewart. She's acting single. I'm drinking double. I'm drinking double. She's acting single. Oh, just stout stuff there. All right. This next weird thing that has happened nationwide that we look at, y'all heard about the South Carolina lawyer that his wife and son were murdered. Then he gets shot in the head, changing a tire on the side of the road. And then we find out that he had stolen money from his family's law firm. All right. He's been fired from that. The family is dispute. This morning we find out that the shooting on the side of the road was planned. He hired somebody to kill him so that his son would inherit the $10 million life insurance policy on himself. How sad is that?
That is sad.
He's got some addictions.
I was thinking it was a different thing. I was thinking maybe he was involved with the wife and kid,
Yeah, you
like
would
that
think
was a planned thing. You don't ever know, but that's not the case. And then I was thinking, well, maybe he hired somebody to shoot him, but just not kill him.
Yeah.
Just make it look like,
But let me say this. No matter what is going on, y'all seek God. He can save you in your darkest hour, no matter how bad it is. Seek a little help there, because that eternity down below ain't good.
Yeah.
It's not at all. There's got to be somebody you can talk. There's hotlines to call if you're ever into a position to where you think there's no way out, because there is somebody. It's Jesus. He can help you there.
Yeah.
Not trying to scare you with my religion and all, but there is hope for everyone there. Here's something that almost shocks you that a judge done, especially in this part of the country. A New York judge has blocked a vaccine mandate for Christian healthcare workers on the ground that it interferes with the religious freedoms. This is the first that I've seen this. So will there be more of this to where these companies are trying to force people to take it? And they go, wait a minute, it's freedom of religion. Will that happen now?
Yeah.
First case of that I've seen.
Well, there's I watched 2 guys and then a lawyer last night talk about it. And one of the guys is I want to say he's a first responder. I don't know if he's a firefighter or what, but his wife is a nurse and she's pregnant. And they were telling her that she had to get the vaccine or lose her job. And she has it's a high risk pregnancy, which there's something wrong with the baby's heart. And they're still trying to mandate her getting the vaccine. They're trying to make her get it or she loses her job, even though it's a high risk pregnancy. And I just think this is crazy. And they're filing suit. He's filing suit. And also because he was also, told he had to get it. And then there was another guy that's a school teacher who, is encouraging other people to stand up, for their rights. But
if your doctor tells you, I don't think it's safe for you to take this, that you've got conditions, then wherever you work should listen to that. Here's a guy that took a stand on it, a lieutenant colonel. He has resigned, and he's got 19 years in. He has resigned because they told him he had to take it. He felt strongly enough that he didn't want to do it, and he has stepped away from his post. Yeah. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with taking the vaccine if you feel it. It's your right as an American. Whatever your convictions are, but if your doctor says you need to take it, then take it. But if he tells you no, you don't need to, listen.
Yeah,
they do this every day for a living. We don't.
Yeah, I'm not anti-vaccine, or anything like that, but I still think I don't understand the whole, unless there's some kind of benefit to a corporation, why are they making their employees get it?
Well, and you go back, Biden said that he would never make it a mandate. That's changed.
Yeah.
So something to think on there. The first time we've seen a judge get involved in this. And again, this will head to the Supreme Court. Y'all know this. This is headed that way. We'll find out what the Supreme Court has to think about these mandates.
Yeah, because like we've said before, it's not like they're wanting to cut down on the spread of by everybody getting vaccinated, but it's not cutting down on the spread. I mean, how is that cutting down on the spread? If you can get it and you can give it.
I'm not at all. I'd be scared to go off on a limb there and cast because I don't know.
They say that I think one of the main things is people who have had the virus, they're saying that their immunity is really more. It's better against fighting the virus than the actual vaccine, and they're still making these people who have had the virus and have natural immunity, they're still making them get it or lose their job. So I totally understand that.
We'll get another doctor to come in and do some more explaining on that as soon as we can. Here's another story that, you kind of saw it coming here, and this is him. Newsom is back in office this morning. He won by a landslide in California last night. The Republican guy didn't even faze him. So he's back in for another for the end of his term anyway. So the recall did not work. Thought y'all might want to know that.
Yeah.
There you go there. Minneapolis crime is still soaring. And you go, well, why is all of this still happening in Minneapolis? We've heard a lot about it. They had the protests, which led into riots and the burning of the buildings. Cops quit their jobs. As we look at the breakdown of this, they have stopped in Minneapolis, like somebody does something speeding. 74% have just stopped pulling people over. The cops, well, why would you? It's not going to do any good.
Yeah. Then
you get into the crime-ridden neighborhoods, where always bad stuff is happening. They've just quit going, 76%. It's dropped. So
it's crazy.
It's bad. It's gotten to a point in America where a cop is scared to do his job because of what will happen to him for doing his job.
Right.
Where does it end, America?
And I mean, if they don't have the support of the government and the people behind them, I mean, I wouldn't want to go in either, I mean, I know that you're wanting to help people, but still, you can't risk, if you have a family and, you can't just totally risk your life without any kind of support, is what I'm saying. You got to have a support system.
That's right.
For these people.
So we feel for those who out there that wear the badge every day. We're on your side, and God bless you there. Let's see here. What else is happening in the news this morning, along with never, ever make up a lie because you're running late. It don't work. A lady was missing her plane. She called it a bomb threat to an airplane.
Oh, my goodness.
We all know how that turned out for her.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, what do you think?
Common sense, people. It's just left the building.
I just totally don't understand how you think they're not going to trace back on all of that and figure out what is really going on.
Yeah.
Let's see some other stories that are happening. Did you see this to where this was in a memorial built for the Twin Towers? This was in South Carolina. They have a little tribute to the. It was defaced, and let me show you the picture of what somebody went up and done to it. It makes your blood boil.
Yeah.
Why would you do this? Now, the next story that comes in with that is, anybody paid attention to the news of what America has done? Oh my gosh, it takes my breath away. Now, overall, you say, well, the United States is trying to help people that are left in Afghanistan. The Taliban is running that country. We have given $64 million to the Taliban. $64 million of American taxpayers' money has gone to the Taliban to help people in Afghanistan. Do any of us really think that money by bad people is going to go used to help the people that they are shooting and going door to door after?
Yeah.
$64 million. $1.2 billion was given to them as a part of a package from.
Yeah, people are thinking that it's helping the people who are the innocent people of Afghanistan. No, I mean, they're not even allowing people to walk the streets saying they're either a Christian or Americans over there.
Right.
I mean, they're.
And this was done by the United Nations. And then the Taliban on top of this goes, America, come on, can't you give us more money than that? They actually said that.
That's ridiculous.
Again, let me say it, $64 million of your American tax dollars has gone to a terrorist country. You can find that story at Daily Mail.
But you can't get our Americans out.
Yeah.
You can't, you're leaving your own people out there to die.
I can't for the life of me shake that idea that who thought that was a great idea, that even though you're a member of the United Nations, you should stand up and go, no, we're not giving to that fund.
It just makes me think even more every day. It just something else. It makes me think that the people who are calling the shots in Washington are somehow or another in cahoots with these terrorists.
Some bad people.
Yes. Somehow or another, there's a connection.
Well,
and because, I mean, you don't just act like they're your friend and you can trust them and, do things to benefit them when they've done what they've done.
I know. They've killed our people. And they will do it again. And let me again say that we brought this up, I don't know if it was yesterday or Monday, of all of the equipment that was left. Airplanes, guns, helicopters. Anybody, you go back to the Civil War, when they're getting ready to take over Atlanta, Sherman's on the outskirts of it. They know that they're coming. What do? You destroy what you got so the enemy cannot get it. Why on earth would the United States leave anything there that could be used against them at a later point in time? All you got to do is set it on fire or
Well, why, when Obama was in office, would we have given Iran millions of dollars?
That's another good question.
So
in the middle of the night,
maybe this is like, was it you that we were talking about? Maybe it's just a way of them
giving a little something extra.
Yeah, giving them something.
It worries me. It does. I don't know the answer to all this, and this is all hypothetical. I have nothing to back any of this up. I don't have a full report from I don't have that. But this is just common sense.
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't take really all those facts to put two and two together. It's common sense will tell you, there's just crookedness going on in every direction.
Yeah, it does.
Something smells, fishy.
It put it on your heart. Think about that. Again, $64 million of American money to a country that took out some of our people.
If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
There you go, Candace.
So
I agree with her.
I'm just saying, it's just common sense.
Quack, quack, quack.
Right.
Could be in the White House. As we turn our thoughts to the precast group, and let me repeat that, the precast, I think I stumbled there. If you're looking for a great way to protect yourself, have peace of mind, talk to these folks. They're right here in Meridian, and they do some of the best that you will ever be. A storm shelter.
Yes.
When the weather turns bad, you want a place to go to, they can install this. Weather is not bad bad right now, this is the time to prepare so when the weather is bad that you're covered and your family is safe. They can deliver these, set these up as you're building home, or deliver it and have it set up later. You can design the inside any way you want to as to how many people you want inside. However you want to do that, talk to them. They can even bury them in the ground. This is one at work. They can put these in. You can sink them in the ground, above ground. However you want to do it. It's the Precast Group. Call them at 482-333. You'll find them out on Highway 145. They'll tell you more about this. That's your air vents there if you want them with those little things or telescopic things there.
Yes.
You got to have some air up in there. Talk to them. The Precast Group, 482-333. They'll tell you all the details and how affordable it is to feel safe.
I was heading over to Meridian and I was involved in a serious accident. I never made it to Meridian. I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace as we travel along with this. Are you one of the ones that have to have the latest iPhone that is out?
I don't have to, no.
Yeah, me either.
Mine still rings and, all buttons or all the little things work on it.
I even got so bad that my screen was cracked that, and I was having to do it on speakerphone. Then I forgot that day that my screen was cracked and I put it up to my ear and I started bleeding over it.
Oh, Lord.
I carried that. That's when I went ahead and said, okay, I got to go get one.
Yeah.
And so I got it.
Yeah, I do have a little bit. Mine's an 11. I think it's a newer one.
That's what mine is.
Yeah, it's a newer one because my husband just said, we're getting you a new phone. Because my other one just wouldn't, there was different things going on.
She was toting the iPhone 4.
Yeah. It was an older one, but anyway.
But they're come out with a brand new one, and it's a little cheaper because I want to say for that 11, I paid $1,000 for that thing. Can you imagine $1,000?
Yeah, I told the guy at the store, I was like, these phones don't cost y'all this much. That's ridiculous.
You can say it all you want.
I'm one of those,
I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm just like, this little gadget cannot cost you
And I don't mind buying a used one, but I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
The new one is out. It's the iPhone 13, and they've dropped the price a little bit. It's $799. So if you got to have it, they say the battery lasts 2.5 hours longer than our models.
Okay. I had this little meme on my phone, this little thing, and it was it was like iPhone 10. You know how each year the phones got bigger and bigger and bigger. Used to they were little.
Yeah,
I wish they'd go in the other direction and keep getting smaller so I could fit them in my pocket better. But anyway, this was somebody holding an iPhone 10. So this is years ago, and it was like this long. I mean, it was like this long up to their ear. It looked like they had a big remote control or something up against their ear.
So that's here's a quick look at what the new phones look like there. It's nothing special. It really looks like what you already got, but that's it there.
I do miss the little flip phones that you could just slip in your pocket, the little flip ones.
You could put it in your front pocket and you go on about your business. Yeah. Matter of fact, I ran into Ricky Mars the other day, and Ricky still had his flip phone that was about that big. He said it still works. I don't think he can get texts, but that's the point.
Yeah, but I do miss those.
We'll get into this story in Virginia tomorrow. I'm going to save that for tomorrow as we look at this. As we go through other stories, we lost somebody from Saturday Night Live.
Yes, Norm Macdonald passed away yesterday. They said that he had been battling cancer, but he had kept it private.
And here's a picture of him if you remember him. So, condolences to him and his family there.
He was not as funny as some people thought he was. I guess he was a little bit dry humor. I don't know what you'd call that. Kind of sarcastic humor. Yeah.
And there's a lot of them like that.
Yeah.
But condolences to his family. There's I didn't know that was coming there. I had no idea that had happened. Donnie Osmond, you remember him? He's 63 years old now. And he says that he's fortunate to even be able to walk again. After he had surgery, he contracted a infection and almost couldn't walk.
Goodness.
All I remember is teeth. That's all I know about that boy. Y'all remember that? Here's a picture of what he looks like now.
He and his sister both, though, age well. I mean, I'm sure they've had a little help, here.
That's where I was supposed to go.
But still, some people get plastic surgery and it's a disaster,
Kenny Rogers.
Some people get it and it,
it hopes them out.
Young, I'm kind of scared. I don't know which way I'd go if I had to get it. So,
you can do the old-fashioned way where you pull your skin and duct tape behind underneath your hairline there. Yeah. I hear that you can do that. I ain't got.
What if one side come loose? Like you'd be looking like you had a stroke.
You would be.
Yeah, or they have this stuff called threading. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Where they put like plastic surgeons, I think, do this like threading thing, and they put it through your skin, and it pulls it like this. The thread.
Look, you do look younger.
I'm serious. Look, I have an instant eye lift. But my luck, one of the threads would like break, and I'd look disappointed.
Movie stars do that a lot, to where they take fishing line because it's invisible and pull that skin back and tie it behind their head underneath their hair. Just an old movie trick, I'm told.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow.
We want to say thank y'all for coming by and visiting with us a little bit. We'll be back tomorrow morning, more stories, some things that really affect your lives. And we can't do it without you and your comments.
Yes, we can. And we do appreciate each and every one of you. Any of the comments that you make. And we hope that every day you can join us. And we hope you have a blessed day today. And I'll see you back in the morning.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by